Hello everyone. This is my first video to show you how to cut a chicken. This is a really good sized chicken, and it's fresh from the grocery store. And if yours is frozen, make sure you follow proper defrosting procedures. And once you have it defrosted, you take out the insides. Look in the inside cavity of the chicken. Between the legs there's an inside cavity that's got the liver and the part of the neck, so you need to take all that out. And then if there's any extra fat that you see that's on there, you can take it and put it in a dish to the side. I have a dish to the side over here to put the chicken after I cut it. When you are preparing your chicken, you need to keep your hands with your chicken, and you need to also don't touch anything else until after you have washed your hands. And what I usually do, we'll cut the little skin that's in between here to spread out the chicken a little bit here. And I cut it to where you can actually put the chicken off to the side, chicken legs off to the side a little bit. And then you'll see the chicken legs go apart like this. I usually like to pull it and then hear the joint right there pop to the side to where you actually feel the bone come out a little bit. Once you pull it like that and you can feel the bone come out to the little bit, you're ready to cut the chicken legs off. And then you put your finger in between there. You'll see the bone has come apart. The bone has come apart right there. So I make sure to cut the skin. And I always cut away from you, not towards you. And I've got all the skin right there pulled apart right here. And once you've done that, you can cut along the side of the back. You're going to be cutting along the back. Here's the back of the chicken. You're going to be cutting along the back of the chicken where that joint just separated. So any way you can do it, I usually like to hold it and make sure my hand's not on the way on my left hand, and poke the knife through, and then saw it back and forth, and then saw it back and forth. And then you've got the chicken thigh and the chicken leg. Put that off to the side for a moment so that you can cut the other one. And again, on this side, you're cutting along the side of the back. The back's in the middle, and you're cutting along the side of the back. If it's separated right here, if you've separated the joint properly, you can put your knife right there where the joint is, and you can poke your knife through and then cut. Keep your hand out of the way. Cut away from your arm to where you're not going to cut yourself. And then I cut towards myself on that. I've done it for many years. Just be careful where your knife is pointed towards. This is the second portion, the thigh and the leg. Put it off to the side. Then you have this. You have this part of the chicken with no legs. If you put the chicken belly down, then you have the two wings. Feel on the wings right here between on each side. This is where the neck goes. And there's a little hole that goes into the cavity from where the neck is. What you're going to be feeling for is the two joints that make the chicken to make the arm move. You're feeling for the two joints here. There's one on each side. Once you find that joint, you can feel where it's moving, and you put your knife right where that joint's moving. Make a cut on the top through the joint until you feel it go through that joint. Once it goes through I felt it go through the joint. Then put it under the arm to pull it through to cut it that way. You'll have a little bit of the white meat on the wing. A lot of times I'll already go ahead and put it this way. Mama always did it this way. She put the chicken wings this way and then she fried it up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Find that joint where the wing moves. And then you're going to put your knife on it and you cut it. And then you go through the bottom side and you've got your wing off. Flip it around. Or this one's not trying to flip around. I don't know why. And then you put it in the container. Now you have the breast. This is the back side. This is the breast side. The back side and the breast side. What I like to do from here, there's a piece of, here's the breast. There on each side, on this side right here, is a piece of skin. It connects from the back to the front. I actually like to cut that out, and I'll kind of cut along it and along the breast, and I'll put the skin over there. That makes a really good piece right there. On the other side, this is the back side, this is the breast side, and this is the neck side, and that's the bottom side, the leg side. There's a piece of skin that goes along the breast and along the back. I like to put it right here on that part right here where the ribs are, right past the ribs, and cut that piece of skin out. As I've learned to cut the chicken, that's always just been an extra piece of skin that I didn't want. And I put the extra skin in the container. That makes your chicken, this is the bottom side, this is the neck side. This is the breast side, this is the back side. And that makes it be to how I like it next. So put it on in one of the sides where you have the breast on one side and the back on the other. Right there where the wing was, there's a hole. And right here, I just know if you'll hold your chicken straight and you put your knife in there, I just know from doing it for so long, if you will hold the chicken and just cut straight. My knives are not sharp. If you just cut straight, it will go real easy. And you've cut this one side of it. Flip it over. Find the wing where the wing was again. Put your finger through that hole. It goes into the cavity. So what you can do is put your knife in there, make sure it's straight, and cut through the ribs. And then you have the back almost separated. Here's where I like to be careful, because there's a wishbone right here on this part of the breast. I always like to see if I can cut the chicken without breaking the wishbone. So I try to delicately cut through the bone that's at the top here that will separate, and I try to find that tendon that is keeping that together and cut through it. But I try to be very delicate because it's the top of the wishbone. And then I find the other tendon on the other side. And I know it's not very clear, but this is the top of the wishbone on the breast side, trying to cut the back off. The back is off. I put that in that side because I don't know what to do with the back. A lot of people will fry it up and they'll like to eat the back. That's what you can give me in the tips below, is links to recipes for the chicken back. I usually end up not cooking with that. Now what you have left is this beautiful piece of meat that everybody loves, and that's the breast. It's really good white meat. And if you'll lay it still and hold, I usually try to find, I don't even know what that spot's called, but if you'll put your finger and you'll hold in the middle, that's the bottom of the breast, and there's a spot right there that Mama always cut. And this chicken is so good and fat that it's hard to find that spot. Mama would cut right here and go sideways to the top of that breastbone, and there was the wishbone piece. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that with this one, with the way this is. I feel it, I think. And you find where that end of that bone is, and you can cut right there. To cut the wishbone piece. Not successful. Not successful. We'll do this another time. So, let's pretend we didn't cut there, because I was not successful doing the wishbone. Cut straight down from the top. Break the wishbone. Make a cut from right there in the middle. One good tip is have a really good sharp knife so you don't hurt yourself. Alright, that's your wishbone pit, that's your breast meat. Pausing. Alright, had to pause a little bit. When you've got the wishbone piece did not work. This was a really good fat piece of breast meat. So what I did is put it the front side down, and if you will put your knife right there a little bit, cut a little bit, and then pop that middle piece right there. There's the wishbone, and you're cutting, and you broke the wishbone, and you pull it to separate, and you keep pulling it. There, right there, when it pulled away right there, you're going to cut on one side of this main piece, right, the middle piece right here. You're going to cut one side of it there because there's a bone there. Keep pulling. You keep pulling how it separates from this bone that's in the middle. When it separates from that bone in the middle, that's where you're going to continue to pull that meat away from that bone. And you're going to cut, so you have two breast meats. Cut a little bit, and then pull the meat away from that middle bone. Cut and pull. And then you can cut down to the bottom and pull. Cut and pull down to the skin now. You can cut that skin all the way down the middle. And if you want to, just keep cutting until you get the skin all the way cut. Good tip is to have sharp knives, because if you have sharp knives, you can cut well and you won't hurt yourself. Just be very careful. I'm turning it back over after cutting it on one side of the bone, and you got two breast meats. If I was able to find that piece underneath that wishbone, I would have had a wishbone piece like Mama had. This was the first time of cutting a chicken after I've cut it for a while. So now I've got 2 breast meats, 2 wings, 2 legs and thighs. Again, if you'll find on the thighs in between, there's a joint right there in the middle. And you find that joint, you cut till you cut past that cartilage. And once you cut through the cartilage, you'll feel it. Put your knife on the bottom side. Hold both pieces. Make sure your finger's not in the way. You've got a thigh and a leg. You'll do the same thing on this one. Find the joint. Cut right there in the middle of the joint. If you get right there, I did it real perfect there because it happened real easy. Hold the chicken. Cut in the middle of it. You've got a thigh and a leg. So when you're done, you have your 2 breast meats, your 2 wings, 2 thighs, and 2 legs. You also have your back, to where I usually throw it away. Some people will cook it. If you have a recipe for the back, you can let me know about the recipe. So that's how you cut a chicken. Okay, that's how you cut a chicken. It's the first time since I cut a chicken in a long time. So as you can tell, it was a little rough. I wish to have been able to show you the wishbone piece, because that's what I remember my mama doing all the time. We'll do another cutting a chicken another time when I have a little more practice, but that's basically how you can cut your chicken. If you have a tip on what people do to use with the back and recipes, send that to me in the messages below. And after this, you can either fry it up and have your whatever recipe you're with. With this one, I'm going to sprinkle season all over it and a bunch of basil and broil it, because that's healthier and that's also quicker. If you fry it up, it's going to take you a little longer, but pick the recipe you want to have with it and just go with it. But that's basically what you do to cut a chicken. And until next time, like my video, share it with your friends, tell people about what I'm going to do, and let's have fun with this, okay? And have a good day. Until next time, my friend.